Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming my everyday makeup look. I get a lot of questions about my makeup, what foundation I'm wearing, or what concealer I'm wearing, so I decided I should film an everyday makeup tutorial. It's the easiest tutorial probably for me to do because it's the makeup that I wear every day. So I don't use that many products, but I do use a few of my favorites. So first things first, my skin's already prepped. I put some rose oil on my face, some moisturizer, and some eye cream, and I have some chapstick on already. So my skin is prepped, and my foundation that I use is the NARS Sheer Glow foundation in Syracuse. It looks like this, and I really like it for daytime because it's sheer. The only thing I don't like is that it doesn't have a pump. You have to kind of just pour it onto your hand. It's the only negative thing I have to say about it, but I really like this foundation because it's sheer, it's not heavy for daytime, and it's not mattifying. I don't like to look too matte. I like to look like, natural and dewy, and especially for my everyday, I don't like it to be heavy, and I really like to look like I'm not wearing makeup, even though I am. So I'll just take a little beauty blender and make sure that the beauty blender is damp. I know people that don't like beauty blenders are usually using it dry and they're not using it the right way. You have to rinse it under water and then just kind of squeeze all the water out and just have it damp. So I'm just going to pat this in. And my face is a lot lighter than the rest of my body, so that's why my foundation is a couple of shades darker. I just don't tan my face, so I go in with the corrector first, and it's by Benefit Boing Brightening Concealer in number 3, and it looks like this, and it's a really pretty like salmon-y peachy color, and it does such a great job like canceling out all the darkness in the blue, and I can't ever do my concealer without this. My number one makeup product would probably be corrector and concealer. So I just put it on my finger and I tap it in. And I like to use my finger because your warmth on your hand, the warmth of your finger melts the product into your skin really nicely. And I'll take a little bit of it, whatever's left on my finger, over my eyelid, and you can see the difference already. That's no concealer, just the corrector. So I'll go in and do the other eye. This thing is my best friend. Seriously. Alright, so that's all I'll do for the corrector, and then I'll go over it with my concealer. My favorite concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which I'm sure you've all heard of because everybody uses it, but it really is good. It's worth all the hype. And I really like the applicator on this concealer. It's really big, and it's pretty full coverage. So I'll go in and I'll just do like little strokes underneath my eye, my chin, between my eyebrows, and down the bridge of my nose. And then I'll just take the beauty blender and blend it in. I like to take the concealer to the inner corner of my eye, where I also put the corrector, and then down the sides of my nose because it will naturally contour your nose. It's just a quick way to do it. And then I go underneath the eye, down a little bit. I don't go lower than my cheekbone. It's like a triangle, and then I'll bring it out to my hairline. And I'll always go over my eyelid because I'll use my concealer as like an eyeshadow base. And if you do wear a foundation that's a couple of shades darker than your actual face to match the rest of your body, using a concealer will actually, kind of diffuse it and blend everything all out and together nicely. So if it looks too dark, you always have your concealer to kind of lighten it up. So now that my base is done, my foundation, my corrector, and my concealer, I'll go in with my setting powder. And I usually always use a translucent setting powder by Laura Mercier, but I ran out, and I wanted to try the Cover FX Perfect setting powder. I've heard good things about it, so I got a small little sample size. And so far I like it. And then I'll take this brush by e.l.f. Cosmetics. It's a highlighting brush, but I like the shape of it to go. I think it fits really well, like right underneath my eye. So I'll dab it into the translucent powder, and then I'll just place it Now I'm patting it underneath my eye. I'm not swiping. If you swipe it, or if you're too rough, you'll just ruin the concealer that you just did. So you just want to tap everything into place. You don't want to move any of the product over the eyelid, and then that basically just sets your eyelid and you're ready to go in with your eyeshadow. It's always nice to set your eyelids if you put concealer, because you want to put shadows on top of powder. You always want to do powder over powder. So I'll take this translucent powder and I'll put it basically everywhere where I put concealer. So in between my eyebrows, down the bridge of my nose, and my chin. And I'll put it around my smile lines where I know I usually crease up because I smile all the time and I laugh all the time, and it's really easy for my foundation to kind of just get stuck in the creases there. So I'll take a little bit of translucent powder and put it there. And then before I go in with my bronzer and all of that, I'll go in with my Bobbi Brown Skin Weightless Powder Foundation in Warm Neutral number 5. It looks like this. I love it actually, so I'm almost out. And I'll just take a big brush. This is a big brush from Real Techniques, and I'll just put a little bit on my brush and then just lightly brush it over the rest of my face to kind of just set the foundation so that my powders go on really smoothly and they're not breaking up and they're not blotchy. If there's any tip you take from this video, let it be that one. Okay, so now that my face is set, I'll go in with my contour. And for my contour, I actually love the KKW Beauty powder contours. I got contour number 6. It's a really pretty shade. It's really nice. I actually love a lot of her products. I have a couple of them. And I'll take this Sigma large angle contour brush, F40, and I'll just take a little bit of it and put it right underneath your cheekbone, up to the top of your ear, and just blend up. You don't ever want to blend down because you don't want it to look muddy, and you don't want to take it further down than your actual cheekbone. And I'll just blend it out, and I'll just take it up all the way around. So I'll do a little bit on my forehead, down my temple to my cheek and my jawline. So it's like a number 3. And what I will do too is I'll take this little brush and I'll squeeze it together, and I'll just go down the sides of my nose where the concealer was. It kind of already shaped out the nose contour, and I'll just put whatever's left on my brush and go down the sides of my nose. I don't do like a really sharp specific contour on my nose. I just add a little definition. And then to blend it in, I'll go in with my Beauty Blender, whatever product's left on it, and just kind of dab it in to just kind of mix everything together and blend everything nice. So I don't have any like harsh lines going down the sides of my nose. So now that my contour's done, I'll go in with my Milani Baked Bronzer in number 4. It's a really pretty bronzer. It's a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's not a lot. So I'll just take this and I'll pretty much go over my contour and then my cheeks. Just a really nice, like, pretty like sun-kissed bronze. You can get this at any drugstore. I think I got it at Walgreens. Now going with my highlighter, I use my MAC Soft and Gentle Mineralized Skin Finish highlight. It's my favorite highlighter. I've had it forever, and I still haven't hit pan on it. So I like to put it on before my blush because I like to put my blush on top of it, because it just blends it in really nice and it's not just sitting on top of your skin. So I'll put it on the high points of my cheek, I'll go underneath my eyebrow, and then out to the temple. So it's this whole area. And then I'll take it a little bit on the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow here, and a little bit on my chin. And that's the highlight. I think it's really pretty. It's nice and natural looking. And then my blush, lately I've been using, I got this in like an influencer package. It's Sigma and it's called Nymphaea, I think. Aura powder, face powder, and it's a really pretty light pink, like a baby pink. I'll smile and I'll put the blush right on the apples of my cheek, and then right in between the highlight and the contour, and it just blends both of those like together really nicely. That way the highlight looks like you're glowing from like within, and it's not like a stripe of highlight like just sitting on your face. I'll tap in my blush here. And then for the blush, I like to go like a swipe across my nose. Just looks a little sun-kissed. And then I'll even put a little bit, like whatever's left on the brush, on my forehead, just to kind of make everything look monochromatic. Oh, and then a nice little trick is to take the translucent powder and put a little bit right underneath where you contoured. And it'll just kind of clean it up and brighten this whole area down here. And it'll make your contour line like really sharp. And then I'll like blend it out after I do my eyes. For my natural days, what I like to do is just take whatever contour powder I use. So today I used the KKW contour powder. And I just like to take this brush by Morphe, it's the M511. And I like to just put that in my crease, back and forth. I'll wing it out a little bit on the ends, and then I'll just brush whatever's left on the brush, like over my eyelid. And it's nice to just contour. It kind of just contours your eye and defines it a little bit more without really doing much of anything. It's a really easy way to do your eyeshadow and be out the door. So I'll take that and just blend it out. So I like to just put a little bit of the contour powder underneath my lash line and then connect it to the top and just bring it up. So I'll just buff this out and then connect it right there on the edge. So then I'll take an eyelash curler and I'll curl my lashes. Alright, and then I'll go in with my favorite mascara, which is the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. I use the original, and then I also use this one. This one's Carbon Black. This one's like really black, and I do really like it. It's a drugstore mascara, so it's inexpensive, and it just makes my lashes, like, they're naturally long, but it just makes them look so long and nice and dark, and it doesn't get clumpy. I mean, obviously if you continue to layer it and layer it, it will, but I don't think it looks clumpy when you put it on. It's like my favorite mascara I've ever used. I always go back to it. I used to always use the MAC mascaras, and then I started using this. Makeup artists used to always use it, will always use it on me on set. It's like a cult favorite, and then I started using it, and now I'm like, I'll never go back. And I like on the ends of my eyes to just kind of take the mascara out so the eyelashes kind of look nice and open on the ends. So that's it for my mascara, and if you get a little transfer on your lids, I like to just let it dry, and then I'll take the spoolie of my eyebrow brush and just wipe it away. That's a really good trick because it won't ruin your makeup, where like if you take a Q-tip and you have to wet it, it's dicey. It's a little dicey. Alright, so now that this powder's been sitting there, I'll take my big brush and just brush it away. And you can see how like more defined and bright that area looks, and it defined the contour. I don't like it to look too sharp, so I'll take this brush by Sephora. I've had it for so long I don't even know the name, but it's like a stippling brush, like this. And I'll just blend everything together. I know a lot of people do their eyebrows first. I actually do them last. And I just put a little bit, like I fill in wherever I have gaps. So my front pieces, I lightly feather them in, like soft little strokes. I don't like the fronts of my eyebrows to look like boxy or square or too dark. Lightly feather in the front, and then I'll do like a stroke right on the bottom, and then I'll fill in the ends of my brows. My eyebrows are so naturally thick that I don't go overboard because they could look crazy really quickly. And then brush through them. This is what helps kind of spread the product through your eyebrow so that they look as blended out as possible. I don't like to look like I have product in my eyebrows. I I usually use an eyebrow gel sometimes. I always use Anastasia clear eyebrow gel, then I ran out. So then I was just kind of using hairspray on like an eyebrow brush. But I've seen a couple people use this clear transparent gel from Great Lash Maybelline. So I bought it today and decided to try it. So this is my first time using it. So a little first impressions. And then I'll just brush them up. I like them to look really furry and kind of just full. My eyebrows are actually pretty long right now, so I'll take the clear brow gel and just kind of brush them down a little bit. The last thing for me to do is my lips. So my favorite MAC lip liner pencil is Boldy Bear. And I'll just outline my lips. I don't overline them because my lips are pretty big naturally, so I'll just follow. And then my go-to everyday lipstick right now that I really like is by Too Faced, and it's called Pout About It. And it's a really pretty, like, natural everyday color, goes with everything. So I like to pat my lipstick in. I don't like to like swipe it on because I think if you pat it in, it goes on a little bit sheer. And that's it. That's all I do. So this is the finished look. This is my everyday makeup look. I hope you guys like it. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment below, and let me know what video you guys would like to see next. So thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.